Hello, it's CP Zap again. I've just been thinking about Saul Alinsky and his rules for radicals, which have heavily influenced both Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton. And I think that right now Jill Stein is implementing these rules in her recount. So I found this article. I'm going to put links, and I'll just read you what it says here on the 12 rules for radicals. Rule number 1. Power is not only what you have, but what the enemy thinks you have. Power is derived from two main sources, money and people. Have-nots must build power from flesh and blood. These are two things which there is a plentiful supply. Government and corporations also always have a difficult time appealing to people, and usually do so almost exclusively with economic arguments. Rule number 2. Never go outside the area of expertise of your people. It results in confusion, fear, and retreat. Feeling secure adds to the backbone of anyone. Organizations under attack wonder why radicals don't address the real issues. That's why. They avoid things with which they have no knowledge. Rule number 3. Whenever possible, go outside the expertise of the enemy. Look for ways to increase insecurity, anxiety, and uncertainty. This happens all the time. Watch how many organizations under attack are blindsided by seemingly irrelevant arguments that they are then forced to address. Happens all the time with Donald Trump. Rule number 4. Make the enemy live up to its own book of rules. If the rule is that every letter gets a reply, send 30,000 letters. You can kill them with this because no one can possibly obey all of their own rules. This is a serious rule. The besieged entity's very credibility and reputation is at stake, because if activists catch it lying or not living up to its commitments, they can continue to chip away at the damage. So it's all about attack. No substance, just attack, attack, attack. Rule 5. Ridicule is man's most potent weapon. There is no defense. It's irrational. It's infuriating. It also works as a key pressure point to force the enemy into concessions. Pretty crude, rude, and mean, huh? They want to create anger and fear. Rule number 6. A good tactic is one your people enjoy. They will keep doing it without urging and come back to do more. They're doing their thing and will even suggest better ones. Radical activists in this sense are no different than any other human being. We all avoid unfun activities, but we revel at and enjoy the ones that work and bring results. Sorry, that didn't make sense. Rule number 7. A tactic that drags on too long becomes a drag. Don't become old news. Even radical activists get bored, so keep them excited and involved. Organizers are constantly coming up with new tactics. They get a lot of training. Rule number 8. Keep the pressure on, never let up. Keep trying new things to keep the opposition off balance. As the opposition masters one approach, hit them from the flank with something new. Attack, attack, attack from all sides, never giving the reeling organization a chance to rest, regroup, recover, or re-strategize. Rule number 9. The threat is usually more terrifying than the thing itself. Imagination and ego can dream up many more consequences than any activist. Perception is reality. Large organizations always prepare a worst-case scenario, something that may be the furthest from the activist's mind. The upshot is that the organization will expend enormous amounts of time and energy creating its own collective mind and direct of conclusions. The possibilities can easily poison the mind and result in demoralization. Rule number 10. If you push a negative hard enough, it will push through and become a positive. Violence from the other side can win the public to your side because the public sympathizes with the underdog. Unions use this tactic. Peaceful, albeit loud demonstrations during the heyday of unions in the early to mid-20th century incurred management's wrath. often in the form of violence that eventually brought public sympathy to their side. Rule number 11. The price of a success attack is a constructive alternative. Never let the enemy score points because you're caught without a solution to the problem. Old saw. If you're not part of the solution and you're part of the problem, activist organizations have an agenda, and their strategy is to hold a place at the table, to be given a forum to wield their power. So they have to have a compromise solution. Rule 12. Pick the target, freeze it, personalize it, and polarize it. Cut off the support network and isolate the target from sympathy. Go after people and not just institutions. People hurt faster than institutions. This is cruel but very effective. Direct, personalized criticism and ridicule works when you're a radical working for the New World Order.